All right, viewers, this is O.M.A Medical Studios, and I think it's been a while we posted a video. All right, the reason is that, see, the first, you can see there have been changes here concerning the board. The first board, a lot of us were complaining that it's too small, and then some of us cannot even visualize the words very well. So basically, we needed to have a bigger board. You understand? So I think this board is okay. It's not that bad. It's not too big, but then it's better than the previous one. So I think now we can visualize things very well. You can see things clearly. So okay, so let's get into the discussion for today. Our discussion for today is basically going to be on cycle length. And previously we've had a discussion on normal menses and how a normal menses should feel like, how a normal menses should be like, and then we got to know certain things. But then just before we get into this particular topic, we are going to have a recap on some of the things we spoke about during the discussions on the normal menses. So at least you should keep following. This is a video, or this is a discussion that is going to lead us into a very interesting topic. So we are going to have the cycle and discuss. From there, we are going to have to discuss what's the fertile period in a woman's life should be like, and then what the free period should also be like. But then we just want to have it in a sequential manner where people can follow. You understand? The understanding is very necessary. It's not just about recording. We need to make you guys understand the topics very well. So we are going to take it sequential. So after this particular one, we are going to deal with the fertile period in a woman's life. We are going to deal with the free period in a woman's life, so that you don't get to have sex on several occasions and then you feel like your house witches are disturbing you, so you're not getting pregnant. You understand? Yes. So yeah, so when we say cycle, just before we come back to this side, I mean, you can see some numbers here. This side of the board is very important. I'm not saying it's important than this side, but then this side of the board is very important. Once you get to understand this side, understanding this side is very simple. So let's get to understand this. When we say cycle length, this one, cycle length basically means the number of days between a woman's menstrual cycles, the number of days between your menstrual cycles. So if you bleed today as your first day of your menses and then it stops, then you go to bleed maybe 2 weeks later, the days between these periods is what we term as what your cycle length. People have different cycle length. People can have 21 cycle length, people can have 25, people can have 26, people can have 28, people can have 30, 35, people can have 38, people can, like a whole lot. You understand? But in everything we have the normal and then what's the abnormal, right? The average cycle length is what? 28 days. The average cycle length is 28 days. That's the average. I mean, for the larger number of people, basically their cycle length is going to fall within this particular number of what days. But then, like I said, in everything we have what is normal, what is abnormal. So let's get into the reason why we even got to the average number of days to be what? 28. When you look at the, how does menses even come about? Menses come about when what? An egg matures. An egg, we call what we call follicles, matures into follicle, matures into an egg, get released, and then for the fact that the egg doesn't get any sperm to work on it, it comes out. Then a lot of things break down in your uterus, and then it comes out as blood, and the uterus reforms itself again, and then what, another, the cycle keeps on happening until maybe one time you get someone to put a sperm in you. Then all these things will stop for about 1 year, for about 9 months. After even the 9 months, a lot of things needs to occur before even the cycle begins again. You understand? So I wasn't wrong for saying 1 year though. All right. So when you take the cycle, you have what you call the ovulation. The ovulation phase. The ovulation is basically the release of what? An egg. This phase, this particular period has two phases. Like I've always been saying, don't be too keen on putting this particular words terms in your head. When we say follicular, the ovulation has two sides. It has what we call the follicular phase, and we have what we call the luteal phase. When we're doing, if you followed back, if you follow back to our previous video on the normal menses, how a normal menses should be like, you basically understand what I'm talking about here. The follicular phase and the luteal phase. Just know that the follicular phase is just before the egg is released. So an egg comes to your follicles do mature, they are being released as egg. That is basically what the follicular phase. As soon as they are released, we are not in the follicular phase again. We are in the luteal phase. And we are saying that follicular phase is 14 days. Luteal phase is what? 14 days. So when the egg is released, after the egg is released, whatever happens there for your blood to come as menses is basically the luteal phase. You understand? Before the egg is released, for you to experience all of that is basically what the follicular phase. And we are saying that this is menses. You understand? This is actually your cycle what length before your egg matures and release, and then after your egg what is released. Whatever happens there, the number of days it takes to happen is what we call what the cycle length. All right. Then we are saying that follicular phase is actually 14 days, and then luteal phase is also what 14 days. So you understand why we are having an average of what 28 days now. All right, but we are saying that for the fact that the average is 28 days, it doesn't mean that if someone should have a cycle length to be 29, to be 30, to be 31 is abnormal. It doesn't also mean that for someone for if someone is having a cycle length to be less than 28 is also what abnormal. But then, like I said earlier on, in everything we have abnormalities. The normal range of cycle length is between 21 to 35 days. 21 to 35 days. So this is the normal range of the cycle length. So if someone is having a cycle length to be between to be 21 days is normal. A cycle length to be 35 days is normal. If it's beyond this or beyond the upper limit, that's 35 days, then probably the person should go to or see a physician for possible solution, because there's basically a certain abnormal thing occurring there. And then if you have your cycle length to be less than 21 days, some people even have irregularities with it, whereby this month is 21 days, the next month is 15 days. A lot of people have been experiencing it. We are going to address that in our subsequent videos as well. All right, so like I said earlier on, cycle length is basically the days in between your menstrual cycles. So if I menstruate, if a lady menstruate today, I can't menstruate. Maybe some guys do menstruate. You never know. The world we are in right now is a very scary world. If a lady menstruates today, and basically maybe she has we spoke about the normal bleeding days, which is supposed to be between 3 to 8 days. If a lady menstruates today, the menses stops after 4 days and then comes back again after, let's say, 15 days. That particular the days, the first day she saw her menses to the day just before she see another menses. So if she menstruated, let's say she menstruates, let's come to this side of the board a bit. If she menstruated on the 3rd of, let's say, this is March. Let's put March here. Let's put March here. So let's say she menstruated on the 3rd of March and then it stopped like on the 6th. Then she had her menses again on the 29th. She saw blood again on the 29th. We are saying that just the day before she saw the blood, that is where her cycle length ends. So her cycle length is going to be from the 3rd of March to 28th of March. The 29th of March, when she had her menses, is going to be the first day of her next menses. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. So she menstruated on the, so let's say this particular lady is called O.M.A. O.M.A menstruated on the 3rd of March. The bleeding stopped on the 6th of March, and she had her menses again on the 29th of March. Yes, on the 29th of March. And we are saying that the cycle length is the days in between your menses. So on the 3rd of March is basically going to be O.M.A's day 1. Saying that the normal cycle and the average cycle length is 28 days. The normal one is between 21 to 35 days. We're saying that she had her menses on the 3rd of March and she saw her menses again on the 29th. And we are saying that cycle length begins from the first day of your menses to the day just before you see your next menses. So the day just before O.M.A saw her next menses, that she saw her next blood was 28. You understand? So this is basically what O.M.A cycle. Now, when you count the days between this and that, the number of days you are going to get is basically going to be O.M.A's what cycle length. So this is going to be her day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, day 15, day 16, day 17, day 18, day 19, day 20, day 21, day 22, day 23, day 24, day 25, day 26. So O.M.A has a cycle length of what? 26 days. I mean, it goes with whatever thing I was going to use as an example today. So today we are going to take a sample where we are going to have someone with a cycle length of what, 26 days, and then we've gotten it here. You understand? I guess was as good as the example we give. You understand? So that is it. O.M.A has a cycle length of what? 28 days. So this is where it ends. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, day 15, day 16, day 17, day 18, day 19, day 20, day 21, day 22, day 23, day 24, day 25, and day 26. Yes. So O.M.A is going to see her menses on the 29th. That is the first day of her next menses, getting into what? April. So that's going to be her day 1 for her next menses. So you see, the cycle length is basically very easy to what? To calculate. Our next thing is that the question is, when is supposed to be, when is it supposed to be O.M.A's ovulation date or ovulatory day? When is O.M.A supposed to? So since she had her menses on the 3rd, and then she ended on the, so she had her menses on the 3rd, and she ended her menses on the 6th of March. That is like 4 days duration. And she had her menses again on the 29th of March, and we got to know that her cycle length is what? 28 days. In our next video, we are going to talk about O.M.A's ovulation date. How are we going to get to that level? How are we going to get to know that O.M.A was supposed to ovulate on this day? So on this, because maybe she met a man or she met a partner or something, she's not going to have her menses on the 29th, but basically she's going to get pregnant. Or better still, O.M.A is someone who is looking to get pregnant, but she doesn't know her cycle length. And we have been able to calculate a cycle length for her. I mean, maybe she had sexual intercourse, unprotected sexual intercourse within any day of the cycle, and which probably she can't remember. So we want to get to know if, once we have been able to determine her cycle length, we will be able to determine her ovulation date, and basically the particular days if she had the sex she was going to get pregnant, or basically probably because she has had the sex she's never going to, because she had the sex outside her fertile period, she's never going to get pregnant. But O.M.A is looking for pregnancy to occur, so she's worried. So we want to find out the days O.M.A can have sex and get pregnant, and the days she will have sex and not get pregnant. So basically that is going to be what we are going to talk about in our next video. So stay tuned. This is O.M.A Medical Studio. We only bring you interesting discussions. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just do what to subscribe. We'll do all, and then catch up. We will bring to you the next topic. That is going to be what? Calculation of what? Ovulation date, or what? The basically the fertile periods in a what? In a normal healthy reproductive age lady, the most fertile period in that person's life. So this person in question is O.M.A. So the most fertile period in O.M.A's life, that's what we are going to deal with next time. So stay tuned.